doctors. More than 100 COVID-19 deaths in Oman in 6 days. Recover from these health conditions before receiving the COVID-19 vaccine, says MOH. Oman prepares to launch this venue as main COVID-19 vaccination center. Book records Nizwa's historic role down the years. Twitter loses its status as intermediary platform in India due to non-compliance with new IT rules. Biden lands in Geneva for 10th summit with Putin. IBM unveils first quantum computer in Germany. Oman's Al Faisal Al Zubair enters International GT Open. Oman eases past Bangladesh in World Cup qualifiers. Those are the headlines for today. Now let's take a look at the weather update.
This is Maytha Chukeli with your weather update, and right now I'm reporting from inside the TFM studio in Al Khuair. Before we move on to our weather update, here is our fact for the day. In 2009, there was a sandstorm so huge in the Middle East that it can be seen from space. That is our fact for the day, and now let's take a look at how the weather will be like in the Sultanate. According to Oman Meteorology and Civil Aviation Authorities, there will be mainly clear skies in the rest of the Sultanate with rising temperatures, and there will be clear to partly cloudy skies along the coastal areas of the Far and adjoining mountains. And there's also chances of late night to early morning low-level clouds or fog patches along the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea. And now let's take a look at how the weather will be like in all the governorates. Muscat will be sunny, temperatures between 46 to 35 degrees Celsius. Musandam will be sunny, temperatures between 43 to 33 degrees Celsius. North Al-Batana will be sunny, temperatures between 46 to 31 degrees Celsius. South Al-Batana will be sunny, temperatures between 46 to 34 degrees Celsius. Al-Buraimi will be sunny, temperatures between 45 to 32 degrees Celsius. Al-Dhahira will be sunny, temperatures between 47 to 32 degrees Celsius. Al-Dakhliya will be sunny, temperatures between 49 to 34 degrees Celsius. North Al-Sharqiyya will be sunny, temperatures between 46 to 32 degrees Celsius. South Al-Sharqiyya will be sunny, temperatures between 39 to 32 degrees Celsius. Al-Wusta will be sunny, temperatures between 49 to 34 degrees Celsius. And the Far will also be sunny, temperatures between 35 to 22 degrees Celsius.
Welcome back to the midday update. Let's take a look at the COVID-19 updates for today. The Ministry of Health has announced the registration of 26 new COVID-19 deaths, taking the total death toll to 2,591. The ministry has extended its deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. The Ministry of Health has also announced the registration of 2,142 new COVID-19 cases, taking the total cases in the Sultanate to 240,708. In the past 24 hours, there have been 744 recoveries, and the total number of recoveries now stand at 212,808. The ministry has urged everyone to adhere to social distancing instructions issued by the Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health. Now moving on to the local stories, all three of the patients in Oman who have contracted black fungus suffer from COVID-19 and are also diabetic, said an infectious disease and control consultant at the Ministry of Health. Dr. Zakaria Al-Balushi, an infectious disease consultant at the Royal Hospital, added that the black fungus is not contagious, nor does it affect those who have high immunity. It affects people who have certain issues with their immunity as well as those whose immunity is weak. Oman's Ministry of Health has also confirmed that the black fungus is a rare kind of infection that affects people with low immunity and may cause serious complications if not treated in time. It affects the sinuses and lungs after airborne fungal spores are inhaled by people. It can also form on the skin after wounds, burns, and other injuries occur. Symptoms of black fungus include blackening of the skin around the nose, poor vision, chest pains, and difficulty breathing. Black fungus is not transmitted from person to person or between people and animals, added the Ministry of Health. Speaking to Oman TV, Dr. Amal Saif Al-Ma'ani, another infectious disease and control specialist, added that all three of the patients were between the ages of 45 and 65. The cause of infection is not related to the hospital environment in which they were treated. They had this infection when they were still at home, she said. The second reason for the spread of black fungus is the treatment system used on some COVID patients in the Indian subcontinent. The treatment of COVID has led to the suppression of their immune systems, and because COVID-19 is an emerging disease, we still do not know how exactly it affects the immune system. When it comes to patients with COVID-19, the disease may weaken their immunity and will make them more susceptible to black fungus. Infection by black fungus has been medically known since 1885. It can be treated with antifungals and is not part of the COVID-19 mutation. Oman has recorded more than 100 deaths due to COVID-19 in the past 6 days alone, with 33 new deaths recorded on Tuesday, 15 June 2021, taking it well past the 3-digit mark. Between Thursday, June 10th and Tuesday, June 15th, the country saw 117 people die from coronavirus. During this period, the number of patients in hospitals has also risen from 1,060 on Thursday to 1,247 on Tuesday. Similarly, there have been an increase in the number of people admitted to intensive care. There were 345 people in ICUs on June 10th, a number that increased to 374 by June 15th. Speaking to Times of Oman, Ibrahim Al-Maimani, a social activist and data analyst, said that a new record was also set in terms of deaths as 33 more people passed away on Tuesday. The daily death rate so far this month has averaged about 14.4 deaths per day. This is the highest rate we've seen since the start of the pandemic. Previously, the highest rate was 11.5 deaths per day in April 2021. Ibrahim Al-Maimani also said that an increase in the number of inpatients in hospitals has also continued and reached 1,247 cases, an increase of 54% since the beginning of the month. In terms of inpatients in intensive care, there are now 374 people in ICUs, an increase of 51%. To bring down case numbers in the country and reduce pressure on hospitals and healthcare workers, government bodies in Oman have asked people to get vaccinated against the virus as soon as they are able. Vaccination centers set up in various parts of the country have seen brisk numbers of people visiting them to get their COVID jabs. People who have blood disorders, however, have been asked to consult with their doctors regarding the best time to take their vaccines. Similarly, people with other comorbidities are recommended to get their vaccine doses administered at the institution they normally go to for treatment, as the staff there will know how to handle their health issues. People who are admitted in health institutions due to the infections and people with diseases that cause fever are not allowed to take COVID-19 vaccine until they have recovered, the Ministry of Health announced on Wednesday. The MOH said that people who are admitted in the health institutions are allowed to take COVID-19 vaccine if they are among the target groups and have no other contraindications to the vaccination. This excludes people who are admitted due to infections and those with disease that cause fever. They have to wait until they recover. Oman Convention and Exhibition Center is preparing to host and organize the national campaign for vaccination against COVID-19 as a main center that accommodates from 5,000 to 10,000 citizens and residents per day. The center began preparing and working on this project with a large group of Omani competencies, which included participation of more than 250 young volunteers. The exhibition halls of the center are also equipped with specifications and requirements in accordance with the precautionary measures in terms of physical distancing and other specified guidelines. It will have numbering screens, a system similar to that of the Royal Oman Police Halls. The center will contain drive-through service for the elderly and people with disabilities, which will contribute to the smooth implementation of this service. Oman Convention and Exhibition Center took into account the expected congestion in light of the rising temperatures. About 4,000 shaded parking spaces are equipped with the staff to organize the entry and exit of vehicles and directional panels in all the center's facilities, including car parks, entrances and exits, and waiting halls. The tracks will be allocated according to the target groups according to age or the type of vaccines and doses according to the planning and division of the rooms designated for vaccination. The Ministry of Health is developing Tarasood Plus app in order to book an appointment for the vaccine before going to the main center or other centers in the various governorates of the Sultanate. There will be no need to wait for long as the reservation will be through the application according to the scheduled dates. According to the information, the launch of the center will be announced in the coming days by the Ministry of Health. The National Records and Archives Authority has released part 1 of a book titled Nizwa City, Aspects of History and Civilization. It is part of Volume 1 of the Historical and Civilizational series of Oman's governorates and cities. It sheds light on the vital role of Nizwa City in international cultural interaction. It also elaborates on the city's historical status as well as economical, social, cultural and intellectual contributions. The 371-page book includes 20 research papers scattered among the themes of geographic location and historical status and aspects of the economic and social life. Those were the local stories. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be right back.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to the Midday Update. Now for the international stories. Microblogging platform Twitter has lost its status as an intermediary platform in India as it does not comply with new IT rules, informed government sources on Wednesday. Sources further said that Twitter is the only social media platform among the mainstream that has not adhered to the new laws. Earlier on June 11, Twitter had written to the government that it is making every effort to comply with new guidelines concerning social media companies and has appointed a nodal contractual person and residence grievance officer on a contractual basis and was in advanced stages of finalizing the appointment to the role of Chief Compliance Officer. Union Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology had on June 5th said that it had given Twitter one last notice to comply with the new rules concerning social media companies. The ministry said in the letter that the new intermediary guideline rules have become effective from May 26th. The provisions for significant social media intermediaries under the rules have already come into force on May 26, 2021, and it has been more than a week, but Twitter has refused to comply with the provisions of these rules. Needless to say, such non-compliance will lead to unintended consequences, including Twitter losing exemption from liability as intermediary available under Section 79 of the Information Technology Act 2000. This has clearly been provided under Rule 7 of the aforesaid rules, it said. US President Joe Biden landed in Geneva, Switzerland on Tuesday ahead of talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Biden is arriving after a series of intense meetings with international allies from the G7, NATO and the EU. Biden has sought to reassure allies shunned by his predecessor Donald Trump that the US is indeed a strong and reliable partner. Part of this has been a concerted US effort to confer with allies about concerns with Russia before Biden's meeting with Putin on Wednesday. Heading into the summit, Biden has pointed to the backing of his Western partners. Among other things, the US and EU agreed to set up high-level dialogue on Russia as part of a renewed transatlantic partnership between the US and the 27-member bloc. IBM unveiled one of Europe's most powerful quantum computers on Tuesday during an event at its German headquarters. IBM said the Q System 1 was Europe's most powerful quantum computer in the industrial context. The quantum computer is to be focused in Enningen, which is about 20 kilometers southwest of Stuttgart. It will be operated by German's Fraunhofer Research Institute. It is the company's first quantum computer in use outside of the US. Regular modern computers process functions in a binary fashion, carrying out tasks that use fragments of data that are only ever a 1 or a 0. Quantum computers use subatomic particles to perform calculations at far greater speeds than existing computers, and data can be both a 1 and a 0 at the same time. The data fragments on quantum computer, known as qubits, short for quantum bit, significantly boost its computing power. The machine is housed in a 9-foot, 2.7-meter tall glass cube to shield the qubits from noise and other physical disturbances to which they can be sensitive. Companies hope to harness the power of quantum computers to potentially develop new materials, medications, or artificial intelligence. The computer has been running since February, but its launch event was postponed as a result of the pandemic. On that note, we'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with the sports stories.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Back to the midday update now for the sports stories. Omani racer Al Faisal Al Zubair entered the second leg of the International GT Open Championship. A statement issued online by Oman news agency said racer Al Faisal Al Zubair entered the second leg of the International GT Open Championship hosted by the Belgian circuit Francorchamps. 2 consecutive races will be held next Saturday and Sunday. Mohammad Al Khafri's first half opener and a second half brace by Khalid Al Hajri gave Oman a vital 3-0 win over Bangladesh in the joint qualifiers for the 2022 FIFA World Cup and 2023 Asian Cup. Al Khafri's 22nd minute goal gave a dominant Oman a well-deserved lead before Al Hajri scored just after the hour mark to double the score. He grabbed his second 9 minutes from time to wrap up what had been a comfortable win for his country. Oman mustered a total of 21 shots with 10 of them on target in contrast to just a single one from their opponents. The result sees Oman second in Group E, 4 points behind leaders Qatar, who have 22. Those are local, international and sports stories for today. We'll be back with Midday Update tomorrow at the same time, so stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.